Hey everybody. Well, what is the best guitar for fingerstyle? Today we're going to try to answer the ancient mystic question from the dawn of time. What is the best guitar for fingerstyle? Alberta, Alberta, girl, come back home. I've been missing your loving since you've been But, I guess to some extent, a good fingerstyle guitar has to do with the setup and the way it's set up. But there are some specs, I think, that go with making a good fingerstyle. And, I don't consider myself a heavy finger picker. Sometimes I play with picks on all three fingers. Sometimes. I enjoy that. That's for like a big thumping sound, but that has limitations. Frankly, you can't be as individual with the strings. And a lot of people like to do the Chet Atkins style where you have a pick on your thumb and then these two fingers bare. I've never been able to work that out. I haven't really tried, but every time I've tried, I decide I don't like it. But what I really like and what this thing is great for is bare finger, acoustic blues, and other fingerstyle, like singer-songwriter fingerstyle with your bare fingers, just that human warmth of the fingers on the strings. And I bought this guitar, and I tuned it down a whole step, not a half step, a whole step. And man, this thing just came to life for picking with that right hand. It's just like a dream to play. Tuned down. And I would recommend tuning it down if you want a designated fingerstyle guitar for fingerstyle blues or singer-songwriter type fingerstyle finger picking. Then it's not an all-arounder. You know, I wouldn't say if you do that, you're going to, play this kind of thing. It's not a one guitar fits all. But if you really want a great guitar that's great for fingerstyle, buy yourself a nice guitar and tune it down a whole step. Long, make it low, and nobody gonna know. Make me a pallet on your floor. But I bought this one after some research by what a great company, huh? Martin, with 1833, something like that. Chris Martin founded this. Just unbelievable. And it is the Martin 00028. Look at that beautiful guitar. Martin guitars are a work of art and heirlooms when you get a nice one, as well as a musical instrument. And one of my favorite things cosmetically about this guitar is the rosewood. And rosewood is, to me, the king of tone wood. You see all these different woods come out now, like koa seems to be kind of hot, and they're all nice. I'm not saying they're not nice, but sometimes I think one of the reasons you're seeing all these different types of woods, I saw one the other day, NATO, not to be confused with the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, sapele, woods I've never even really heard of. I think a lot of them might be types of mahogany. But I think rosewood's getting a little harder to find or more expensive. So but to me, rosewood is still the best. Look at that beautiful, rich brown and the grains and the kind of shades of brown. I mean, just gorgeous wood. But this is the 00028 EC. It's the Eric Clapton signature model, but it's a 000, and that's what I bought, and I'm very, very, very pleased with the purchase, other than the fact that I cried for a couple hours after I bought it. I traded in some pretty nice guitars and scraped up my pennies from the piggy bank. and just came over the finish line and bought this thing. It wasn't cheap, but this is one I'm going to play. You know, some of the guitars I traded in, I wasn't playing. This is one I've already been playing a lot. It's just a great guitar. It almost could pass for a dreadnought if you weren't really paying attention, but you can see the shape's a little different here. It's dug in a little more, and it's just a little smaller than like my Martin HD28 dreadnought. That kind of makes it kind of fits in the pocket a little more. One of the things they say, the bass strings on a triple O, they don't flare out and kind of have that kind of flare when you hit them. So the strings are just nice and even. And for fingerstyle, that's great. But like I mentioned, I think I tune it down a whole step. At first, I tuned it down a half step, and I've never been much for tuning down, like Hendrix, you know, tuned down. And I've always said, oh, I'm not going to do that. It's too much of a pain. And then I tuned down a whole step, and man, this thing's so great to play. But I'm not going to tune it up and down, so I'm going to leave it in this tuning, and it's pretty much going to be for solo fingerstyle with my bare fingers. But it's so good. But a couple of the specs that are really nice, other than, you know, all the nice things about it, the tuners and, you know, everything's perfect on a guitar like this. It's so well made. But a couple of things that do make it better for fingerstyle are the scale length. So the scale length here is the distance from the bridge to the nut. And a normal scale length is what, 25.5 inches. And this is 24.9, so it's a little shorter. I don't know if you can tell. I wouldn't really have noticed it if anyone didn't point it out. But they say that makes the strings a little slacker, a little loose in it, which is good for fingerstyle. But they still stay in tune really well. You know, they're not just like rubber bands, but they are a little slacker. And man, when you get a short scale guitar and then tune it down, you've got yourself a fingerstyle beast. This thing is perfect for fingerstyle. But this had something different, which was wider string spacing. So a lot of the regular 0028 has I hope I don't get this wrong, 2 3/16 string spacing. Boy, you have to brush up your 5th grade math for some of this stuff. 2 3/16 string spacing. This has 2 1/4 string spacing. So that's the difference, or the space between the strings. And if I'm not mistaken, 2 3/16 versus 2 1/4, that's 1/16 of an inch difference. So this has just that little bit of 1/16 of an inch more space between the strings, and you can get in there. And I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube, thanks to all the people that have 0028 EC videos out there, because several of them mentioned that this was better, and it was that one of the things that seemed to come up a lot is that string spacing. It's a little bit of a hoss to play sometimes, but I'm getting more used to it. I'm at a bad angle to play, but sometimes I'll hit dead notes that I'm not used to hitting, like where a note will kind of buzz out, and it's because my hands aren't really, but I'm getting better at it. And man, between just the overall Martin action and quality that you always have, and the strings being loose, but still in really good tune and really crisp, and then that wider string spacing, you can really get in there and play some nice stuff. So so that string spacing issue to me was the deciding factor, and that's why I didn't buy the regular 0028, which I originally thought about. I'm sure it's a great guitar. It is, you know what? Everybody else talks about that V-neck, and oh, I can't stand it. I thought it was going to come and look like a, you know, like the top of a you know, Witch Mountain or something with the big, you know, V sticking out of the neck. But I don't even really notice it. All I know is it's a nice neck to play. It's got the volute up there. It's kind of a fancy word, volute. But that's called a volute. And it's not only a very cool aesthetic thing, and it reflects excellence in carpentry and woodworking, but also it reinforces that neck a little bit. So your neck has a little more stability and security. But it's just a great guitar, and you can flip through some of my recent videos. I'm playing it a lot, and I'll try to add some clips in here. But what a gem. And, you know, sometimes it hurts, but you buy a nice guitar like this, and it's one, you know, that you're going to take to your grave, and then someone else that you love is going to get it. And I've got a couple like that. My Martin HD 28, which is a great guitar, but a little different. There is a difference. And this, to me, you can play anything on this. You can play anything on it. It's but especially tuned down like I have it a whole step, it's superb for fingerstyle. So I'm sure Taylor has some nice ones. That AD22 looks pretty nice. But this thing is just great for fingerstyle. So I'm going to go out on a limb, say the best guitar for fingerstyle is this guitar with that wider string spacing, the wider nut, the shorter scale length, and tune it down a whole step, and you're going to have yourself a fingerstyle dream. It's just wonderful. And if you're like me, you've always searched for something that was not easy to play. That makes you sound lazy, but something that was comfortable to play. And yeah, some if they have that real tight action, it's hard to play fingerstyle on, especially with your bare fingers. And if you put picks on, then you lose a lot of the dexterity for more delicate types of finger picking. So just a great guitar. Been around for a long time. It's not new. I'm probably review 12,630 of this guitar, but just join the chorus of people saying this is a great guitar. All the reviews say it's a great guitar, and I think they're right. Thanks. God bless.